Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey here with the latest on Shaq Leonard. The update not many of you guys wanted to get. He has finished his visit with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Leonard have not agreed to a contract. Instead, Leonard will take his next planned visit, which is to the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll keep you guys covered on all of the Leonard saga as it relates to Dallas and have daily videos for you here and shorts too, right here on the Cowboys Report, so make sure you don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now for more free Dallas Cowboys YouTube videos. Leonard did wrap up his visit today with Dallas. Sounds like he did the medical workout and then had lunch with Jerry Jones for the Cowboys. His next plan is to visit the Philadelphia Eagles. Is he still switched for the next team? There have been some other teams linked to him, but certainly sounds like Philadelphia and Dallas, as of right now, could certainly change, are the top teams in contention at this stage. Now, Dallas not signing him doesn't mean, apologies for the double negatives there, that they're out of the running. But it does open the door for others. Here's what Jordan Schultz, who broke the news earlier this afternoon, said. Former Colts All-Pro linebacker Shaq Leonard, he was formerly Darius, had a successful visit with the Cowboys and said to meet with the Eagles next. A decision expected over the weekend. So there's our timeline. After the Cowboys-Seahawks game, it sounds like, and before the Cowboys-Eagles game next week. Isn't that oh so fitting? Also worth mentioning, I've never once heard of an unsuccessful visit. When it's initially reported, sometimes it comes out later, but it's always successful initially. Kind of like a surgery. They said Alex Smith's surgery was successful the first time when it wasn't. It's always successful. So that means nothing to me. There have been teams linked to Leonard. Dallas and Philadelphia obviously stand out. Minnesota and Denver had been kind of linked briefly as well. I don't think that the decision to not sign them today means a deal won't happen. It is still a possibility that Dallas ends up landing Leonard when it's all said and done. But this does open the door for Philadelphia, who I think can make a potentially more successful pitch than what Dallas did, not because of money, because of other things we'll get into here. And I think it makes a lot of sense for Leonard to want to take this path to at least see what the offers and options look like. So first up, the pinned comment of today's video. Are the Cowboys making a mistake letting Leonard leave? That's a bit of a tongue twister there. Y for yes, N for no. It'll be today's pinned comment. If the ad comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I would argue this makes the most sense for Shaq Leonard. It allows him to gauge his market the best. Remember what he's trying to do. He's not just necessarily looking for a place to win a championship. That's, of course, a factor. That's why he's not going to go sign with the Cardinals probably, But he is looking to play for a contender and boost his stock next offseason. That's what he's looking for. And there are three things in the end that are potential roadblocks to any deal, assuming there's mutual interest on both sides, which clearly is the case here. The number one roadblock, this has been a problem for Dallas in the past, is money. I don't think money is playing any role here because the Colts are already paying Shaq Leonard this season. There's not enough money to surpass what he would have gotten from Indy the rest of the season. He's probably going to sign for the vet minimum. Maybe you throw him an extra $100,000 or whatever, but that's just going to come out of the Colts paycheck, so it doesn't make any sense. Money is not a factor here for Shaq Leonard. What is a factor is playing time. Leonard was, and we've made note of this on previous shows, Leonard was unhappy with his role in Indy. He wanted to be a full-time player. He was not. That might have been the same. It might be the same scenario in Dallas. Might not be in Philadelphia. So from a pitch perspective, Eagles might have the advantage here. Damone Clark has been solid as your number one linebacker. Marquise Bell, in particular on passing downs, has been super good. And with the way the Cowboys utilize their safeties and linebackers, you're not going to play two linebackers a massive amount necessarily. And I don't know if this version of Shaq Leonard is better necessarily than Damone Clark. I think he's better than Rashaan Evans. I think the worst case, right? Leonard slots in, maybe realistic case slots in, we'll say linebacker 2.5, right? It's valuable. That's why Dallas has interest. But in Philadelphia, he could probably get a bigger role for a championship contender. Zach Cunningham's banged up. We'll see if he plays this week. Nicholas Morrow has been a nice addition for Philadelphia. Kind of the same surprise in the way Marquise Bell was. Zach Cunningham's not that great in coverage either. I think Philadelphia, with Nakobe Dean on IR, had Lisfranc surgery. I don't know if he's really going to come back this year. If it is, it'll be a while. I think Philadelphia would be more ready to pitch, hey, we're going to play you more on third downs than what Dallas would. And that might be a big issue in getting Leonard to Dallas. The third issue we'll get to here momentarily, but first, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. You're not battling thousands of players, the pros, the sharks. Just pick more than less than 2 to 6 player stat projections. Watch your winnings roll in. You can also mix and match sports. I love the flex play. The flex play has gotten me 7 of my last 8 correctly. I'm going to do the flex play again this week. I don't love my picks. That's why I like the flex play so much. More than Justin Herbert passing yards. I feel like he's going to step up and have a big game. More than George Kittle receiving yards. That middle of the field defense for Philly, like we've mentioned, not that great in coverage. Kittle could have a big day. And give me a David Montgomery anytime touchdown as well. Not because he's just on my fantasy team. But anyway, I digress. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Link will be in the comments and the description. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. The number 3 roadblock to a deal is that the medical wouldn't have checked out. Now, the implication of being a successful visit, the Cowboys have interest still, makes me think the medical did check out. But remember, sometimes that information often comes from the player's agent. If it was the medical, eventually this would get leaked. It'll go to some of the major Cowboys reporters, and it certainly would not be the first time. Some national guys got mad at the Cowboys leaking, reporters did their job, to find out, oh yeah, Beckham's medical didn't check out. Because Beckham told them he didn't want to play into the playoffs. Now, Shaq's not doing that, to be clear. But if that back comes back as like negative red flags, teams aren't going to do it. Dallas has passed on other big-name guys because of medicals before. Remember the Odell Beckham saga last year? It feels like 2 years ago somehow, by the way. Remember Eric Berry? Yeah, you guys remember that one too. Came in for a visit, never took a visit again anywhere else in the NFL. The medical was just, nope, your foot's screwed. So that's a factor here. What do you think is the percent chance, when it's all said and done, the Cowboys get Shaq Leonard, we'll say, by Saturday, Sunday, whatever? Sound off in the comment section for me right now. I'm on record. I'll stand by it. Leonard, and I think everyone knows this, Leonard is not the same guy that he once was. He had 65 tackles so far this year. The splash plays have plummeted, right? Only 2 TFLs. The Colts weren't putting him out there on third downs. I think at times he looked a little bit unconfident in that Colts defense, and he would blame the scheme, which is certainly a potentially viable option as well. The missed tackle rate had gone up. It was his highest of his career, dating back to his first season. If you like PFF and their grades, a career low by a significant margin, not including the injury-plagued 2022 campaign. So that's why you're not, that's why he's available in the first place, right? You're not getting all pro Shaq Leonard, but you are getting, I would argue, the best free agent available. If the playing time doesn't work out, okay, you know what? You had to do what's right by your team, so be it. If the medical doesn't work out, okay. If you got beaten out by Philly because you just want to play for the Eagles instead, that kind of stings. And it does open up the possibility this could all blow up in your face. And it would be very painful if Leonard signs in Philly and makes a critical 3rd and 1 tackle or breaks a pass on third down or whatever, or he looks like the old Leonard that we haven't seen in 2 years. All of that would suck. Like, it would not be a good outcome. It'd be very frustrating, and justifiably so. There'd be much ridicule sent in the direction of the Cowboys. I don't think you're going to get all pro Shaq Leonard. I would be shocked if you got something resembling it. He was one of the best stat sheet stuffers in a positive sense in football. He's not that guy anymore. But as an upgraded version of Rashaan Evans, yeah, I have interest. But the Eagles might be able to make a better pitch for him in the end. So how mad would you be if Leonard ends up going to Philadelphia? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. One injury in air quotes, I guess. Injury report, how about that note? Micah Parsons missed practice today due to illness. Would be willing to bet he got whatever was going on with Dante Fowler. He had missed practice the other day. Fowler also missed practice again today. So I would guess he still plays. We'll keep an eye on that front there. We'll see if that ends up being the case or not. But Micah did miss practice today. I would be shocked if he didn't go. It's illness. He'll play through it. He'll have his flu game if he needs to. So wouldn't be too worried there. We'll have the injury designations in theory tomorrow. Might be forced listed as questionable, but I would bet Micah plays.